and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey, everybody. We're really glad you're here today.
We really are. We're excited to have you today. We are excited to show you a brand new feature on the AttractWell platform that's going to help you to feel a lot more on top of things, right? Whether you're just getting started with AttractWell or you are knees deep in projects, we're going to be showing you a new thing that's going to help you get what you need more quickly than ever before. If you need help, you need ideas, you need support, you need context, all of that is here for you in one new tool. So before we get into that, a little bit of housekeeping up here at the top. As you're coming in, come in, say hello, let us know where in the world you are. We're always so excited to learn where you are and what you do. Maybe share that in the chat as well. If you would like to join us, if you're watching a recording of this, if you'd like to join us for a future live session, you can go to attractwell.com/office hours to be on the list to join us live on these Zoom calls. If you're in our Facebook group, what's up? Excited to see you as well. We would love for you to join us on one of these live calls as well. So if you go to attractwell.com/office hours, you'll be on the list to be notified about what we're teaching next. And of course, you'll get exclusive opportunities to work one-on-one on these calls that you can only get when you're live. And then you'll be the first to get resources that come out for you as well. So again, welcome. We're really excited to have you. AttractWell is an all-in-one solution that is available to help you with your coaching, consulting, course, or service-based business. We have everything that you need under one roof. You can slice your overhead in half or more, especially if you're already using 17 other services that you're trying to duct tape together. So here at AttractWell, we like to make it simple, and we also like to make sure that you aren't left in the dark with what to do with your tools, which is why we're here right now and every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern US time, as well as in our Facebook group and our team who is available for support as well, which is an all the time thing. So thank you guys for coming in. Hello, welcome. Washington, California, Virginia, New Mexico, California, Oregon, Texas. I know we've got New York and Fargo here on the call as well. We are just so excited to have you here today. So today, you guys, we are talking about the AttractWell Success Academy. This is a brand new feature that Greg here has created. Greg, do you want to kick off and kind of show what you've made there, and we can kind of talk through it together?
Yeah, absolutely.
Adrian,
I'd love to.
First office hours. Welcome. Oh, how exciting.
Yeah, hi, Adrian. I've been replying to some emails of yours, so welcome. All right. The Success Academy, I'd like to kick that off here. Let me go to the dashboard here quick before I share my screen so you can see where that is. We're excited to release this, as we often have questions from people like, where do we find this information? Where do we go? What do we do? What's the first thing I should do? Is there an order to this? You know, some people come in knowing what they want to do, but a lot of people just want some resources about what they can do. And so we've added this new Success Academy to help with that. And it's available, it's linked in a couple locations. If you're on your dashboard, there's a new little Learn subtab here that takes you to the same place. But also here, it's always in the menu on the left-hand side here. Or, you know, if you're on the app, it's in the left side menu. We can go ahead and click on this. And this shows, like, we have this organized into categories here: common projects, account setup. These are all little tabs. You can click on them to see them all, and I'll be going through those here as well. But we started with the common projects. These are some of the more common projects that people often ask us about, like right away. Hey, I want to get my website set up, or I need to build a course or community, or I'd like to you know, get some leads rolling into my business, or maybe I have some people I need a message, or need to bring in contacts from some other app, or whatever, hold some events. So we've got those all covered down here with these general categories. And then within each of these, you can see, I'll zoom in here a little bit. Each one of these has a little different icon depending on what it does. So if you see the little graduation hat, that means that the course. I'll show you what this all does. This means it's a live training video. This was very likely a link to a previous office hours training. And then the little arrow means that it'll take you right to that feature. And this is actually just one that's used here from the app. But so I'll show you what these look like. But there's a nice advantage of using the Success Academy. So like if you click on this Get Leads, many of you probably recognize this client funnel challenge. This is a free training that we have. In fact, it's just, you can go to clientfunnelchallenge.com and it'll take you to a sign up page where you can click a button, fill out your name, you get an email, click a link and you're in. Or what you can do is use the Success Academy here, click on the link, and all you have to do is click to launch the course. And it does all that stuff for you and logs you in. And so there, boom, you're right in, you get right access to the course. You don't have to do anything else. You click through and then, finish the course. But this is the same way with all the other courses that are linked up in here. Nice time saver. Then, a lot of people are like, how do I get back in? So this centralizes it and it makes it really easy to access. All the training, this just links off to a YouTube channel, one of the videos that we've done in the past. And, you'll have all the resources, and there's more, I'll show you that another tab here that's really cool that integrates the YouTube channel a little bit to save you some of the headaches of working around in YouTube. But yeah, we have another course over here. Our How to Build Your Online Course is available through here as well. We have a link to download the app. It shows, we've got links here in our help article on how you can get the app to use AttractWell on, for your purposes, operating your back office here, or for your people to be able to download and access your courses and communities. So like this one with the arrow, like create course, for example, this takes you right to a page where it allows you to create that. This account is maxed out, otherwise it would pop up a box and ask me what sort of course to create and all that. And then we have some more training here on the websites, how to create a website, and then down here are how you can access it, like directly. I want to go create a web page. Okay, you just click on that. That'll take you right to that point in the system. It does show you here in the menu where you're going, so you don't have to go through this way every time, but it is a great way to get started in a lot of common projects. And at the bottom here, if you're not finding what you're looking for, we do have a little way to contact us. So you can fill out the form. It'll submit an email to us, and then we'll get back to you by email with whatever question that you might have. We do have training beyond this. This is the most common, and that's where we wanted to start, as not to overwhelm you with dozens and dozens of trainings that we've done. These are the more common ones and sort of the curated list that we've put together for you. This next tab is pretty awesome too. This is account setup. These are probably some of the top things that people look to do when they're starting up. Of course, everyone is on their own path. They might not need to do all these things, but in most cases, this applies. Like a lot of people many people wonder, how do I connect my website domain? Well, we have instructions for that. Connect a domain. You can follow these steps. Payments, I want to connect and set up payments. Okay, now you can have a button. This link was previously buried in, inside the admin area. So that makes it nice and simple to get your payments connected over there. And then if you are looking to improve your mail server deliverability, or your mail deliverability in general, we have an option for a free custom mail server. You can contact us about that. You can hit learn more. And as these are done, like this account doesn't have anything. None of these three are really set up, so it's going to be on a low progress percentage. But as these are completed, this little bar moves across for you as well. And then beyond these technical setup pieces or foundational pieces there's some of the basics if you're looking to, regarding your website, links to change your homepage logo footer, setting your email signature, and some default colors and fonts that you can set up as well. And again, there's a link on the bottom here that says, not finding what you're looking for, we'd be more than happy to help out there. So this is kind of a nice snapshot at a glance of what you've got set up in your system, and some other things that you may not even have known that you could do, all connected up here. Now over here, we've pulled up several of our more common courses. I think we might have more beyond this. We've got tons on the YouTube channel, of course, our previous trainings, but these are some of the courses that we've put together, as well as a link to search the help library, which pulls up in the help center. And you can search in here, for example, if you wanted to search for campaigns, if you can spell it correctly, and it'll pull up help articles. So you can basically browse around our whole help library. Essentially the same thing as clicking the little help icon down in the corner, but it just makes it a little more obvious. We have some trainings here, like the Client Funnel Challenge. That's the one that was linked over here, how to build your online course. Our one-page funnel blueprint launch challenge, and then the Pipeline Igniter. This one is a paid course, but it is available, and some of you have purchased it on the way in. So resources, or these resources and courses covering the most common things that people are looking for here. Oh, I'm seeing there's lots in the chat that wasn't popping up
Yes.
there. What are we seeing?
Yeah. So there's just
Uh-huh.
a couple of little questions here. So Susan asked
Mhm.
if you need to have an account with AttractWell for the client funnel challenge. I think that there are pathways into the client funnel challenge that don't require you to be logged into your AttractWell dashboard. But the important thing to know about what's in the client funnel challenge and what you get there is that you actually have templates that are teaching you how to make it in AttractWell while you're getting it done. So while you could take the general theory, you could actually just get the one-page funnel blueprint from, off the front of AttractWell if that's what you're looking for. That's where you're going to get most of the value if you're not an AttractWell user, because it's like the theoretical, how do you map out a funnel? But if you want to actually create the funnel with a breakdown of why everything went onto which page and getting templates for those pages, etc., then it's going to be best to have an AttractWell account. So can you? Yes. Should you? It's kind of up to how you like to spend your time. In terms of a progress bar, you want one of your pages. There may be plugin options, but I would say, Mary, to your question, the progress bar that is built into your AttractWell account is actually going to be better reflected in your online classes. So you can actually have people complete their lessons and then they're able to see their progress as they move across. Carrie asks, can you add in your own custom colors and fonts for your own branding? 100% you can do that. Greg actually is showing right here on the screen where you can go to do that in AttractWell. So yeah, you can make your AttractWell site look however you want it to, set your colors, font defaults, custom fonts, sky's the limit. It's up to you. Oh, yes, excited you don't have to go into YouTube. We do ultimately for those replays send you to YouTube, but you don't have to go try to find things on YouTube, which I think is the important part. Greg has built something really interesting in those the live replays feature to where you can type something in and it'll bring that up without you having to use YouTube's really clunky search feature. Sonia also had a question. Where would the resources from the live trainings be found if we've already claimed them? So that's actually going to be under your resource bundles. And thank you, Greg. You're the demo guy today. You're the Vanna White. So if you go to My Claimed right here, then you can actually see all of the bundles that you've claimed. And those will show up in a list. Awesome questions, you guys. So do we have any questions about how we go about using this resource, about using the Success Academy? As you can see, it is right up here in the top corner of your dashboard, right next to Write with AI. So two of the most powerful features you have access to get the answers that you want and to get your work done are right there at the top. So awesome, you're brand new, welcome. We're excited to have you. So I would recommend you guys, if you're just getting started with AttractWell, to make sure that you hit that account setup tab first and make sure that you've gone through everything that's there, because that's going to basically ensure that you've got all your bases covered. You're going to be able to take payments. You've got your domain. You're able to mail people effectively. And then, of course, you've got all of your basics here with creating your homepage, getting your signature set up, which is going to be important especially before you start sending any automated messages out via campaigns. And then of course your colors and fonts. So this is all going to be super critical. And then from there, and Adrian actually said just a little further up here in the chat, what if I want to do everything all at once? Well, we don't recommend that. But if you want to pick a path and manage it, you can find a great place to start under common projects that Greg has created here, where you can see some of the most common things that you might start working on. And then once you start really getting deep into that stuff, then you can start looking into the online resources, the live training. And of course, if you want something done for you, or you would like to have more help, you're not finding the answers you're looking for, of course, you can get help from a live person. So again, we're so excited you guys are here today. It's okay. Welcome. If you're new, you're brand new to the call, we're excited to have you. Delnita, a question about client information. Is there a quick place to see all of my clients? So that's actually going to be in your contacts. And you can actually see a list view. So the default is a card view of your contacts like this. But you see Greg is actually clicking here, and this is going to toggle to create a list. You see the third option there, that's something that's going to be a better fit for folks who are in direct sales. That's a tree viewer, so an organizational, like sales organization viewer. But this is how you would be able to look at all of your contacts And of course, if you have leads and clients in here, then you could go to filters and maybe filter for just your contacts. And then you'd be able to see all of them as well as their respective tags in your system, which you can use for segmentation and just general organization purposes. Thank you for that question. Yeah, keep them coming if you guys have any more, if it's about AttractWell generally, or it's about this awesome new feature here with the Success Academy. But definitely recommend though. Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if there's no questions, I mean, I could show these last couple tabs here as well too.
Oh, yes,
please
do. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. So this tab here is just, the Get Help from a Real Person tab is the one that shows, all the different ways you can interact with us. You can send a message to us through support, click a button, pops up a box. We'll get back to you by email. You can learn more about our concierge team, how we can help you put your system together for you or with you. Check out our Facebook community and then sign up for our office hours live training. Obviously, if you're here today, you are signed up somehow, but you can also apply for help on the office hours here too. This last tab, Ashley mentioned about the searching here. This is really neat too. So this like takes everything that's on the AttractWell YouTube channel. Like if I go over, I have the AttractWell YouTube channel here. It takes everything, all those videos, and then puts them here. And this is, I think, maybe shows the last 10 or so. You can see all of them on the YouTube channel by clicking this View All Videos link here. But basically puts them all on here so that you don't have to dig through the channel, and then puts the description right below it so you can kind of see at a glance more easily what it's all about, and it's got the date and everything on there as well. Now you can go over to the YouTube channel if you want to, like it's over here. Taking really slow to load today, my computer, but this shows all the videos that we've posted here. Getting to our 100th video, that's pretty awesome. So, but some of the advantage of this is, number one, it's really easy to find like a resource bundle. I guess that's not actually a resource bundle, it's a link to the bundle. So like this one here, the AI prompt one we did a few weeks ago, it's got just a link here to get to the download. You don't have to dig through the YouTube channel. Like previously, to get that, like if I were to, my computer, we're running a little fast, but if I click on this right with AI prompts, it'll actually open up to that YouTube video. And then as it loads here, there's, to get that resource previously, I mean, you can still do that. You can still go to the video on the YouTube channel and click in the description to get the bundle. But this makes it just super simple because it surfaces it right there. You don't have to go digging here and wait for it to load. Like right now, it's loading. You need to skip ads or whatever I need to do. And there should be a sign up link that's coming under here, or not a sign up link, but the resource link that will show up on the bottom when it does load. But anyway, so you don't have to wait for all that. You can just come over here and there's your resource bundle link. There it is. And you don't have to dig in to the description to get it. So it simplifies that greatly. And then the other really awesome feature, if you scroll to the top here, is the search for a video. This is available on the YouTube channel. You just have to know where to get it. Like if I were to toggle back over here to this YouTube channel tab, there is a search box, but depending on the size of your screen, it might not even show up. Like here, my screen's small enough where I have to like click over and click over. Oh, okay. Well, over here is this little magnifying glass. There you can search just the channel, because YouTube, of course, wants you to search up here, which then searches all the videos across all of YouTube. Here, this little search box just searches our channel. Well, we've got that hooked up over here, so it just searches our channel. So if you want to search for training on, let's say, email marketing, you can do that, type it in here, and it'll pop that up right to the search box. You don't even have to like try to find that little magnifying glass icon on YouTube. It'll just come up and show you the email marketing or whatever the search results are that you search for. So great shortcut there. And yeah, so here's pulling up all the email marketing training that we've done on our channel. So those are, I guess, the last two tabs. The other neat thing is if you want to bookmark one of these, like often, if a lot of people subscribe obviously to our YouTube channel, they get notified through their phone or wherever it is that YouTube tells you about new videos. But if you'd like, for any of these tabs actually work, but if you right click on any of these and copy the link address, they're bookmarkable. So you could like come over here And let me open a new tab because I just copied that. It'll then you can bookmark and go directly to that tab. I'd be able to go up to my browser, which you can't see the toolbar, but I could say add to bookmarks, and then I would just have a link right to the live training replays. You could pull those up without having to go through YouTube, or obviously we email you, but this is just another avenue for you to hop right to that without having to dig through other resources and save some clicks. So awesome. Yeah, I think that's kind of the big stuff. Obviously, if any questions, let us know here. Happy to answer them.
Yeah, thank you for that. It looks like Heidi has one that's not about the Success Academy. She said she found an issue on her site today using ACE calendar and have the link in her signature to block signature block and a new contact schedule on your ACE calendar, which is connected to your free Zoom account instead of the account provided by AttractWell. You said you had to jump off and back on to finish your conversation. What would you recommend to make this easier? So I'm not familiar with ACE for scheduling, but what I would do is create a recurring Zoom link in AttractWell. And then in your scheduler, whatever your scheduler is that you're using, have the location for your call be that link, the join link that you created when you created that recurring link in AttractWell, that recurring meeting. So you would, and I've actually gone over this, I think, in several trainings. I haven't done a dedicated one on it, but it does come up a lot in the second half of a lot of calls. But essentially what I do, like I mentioned, we create a recurring meeting in AttractWell. The start meeting link, I bookmark. Because so long as I'm signed into my AttractWell account, all I have to do is click that bookmark. My meeting opens when it's time for my meeting, right? But the join meeting link, the one that you're sharing, that's again a part of this recurring meeting link in AttractWell, that's what you pop into the location. So that way your scheduler, if it's ACE, if it's Calendly, or whatever it is that you're using, it's going to tell them this is where we're meeting. So they'll get the right link. And of course, you've got the bookmark. You can just open it right up, or you go into AttractWell and you hit start meeting. The reason why you are getting that 40-minute maximum is because you're using the free Zoom, and your Zoom with AttractWell does not have a stop time. I think we've heard it's 24 hours. I don't think anybody really wants to test it. So that's what we would do. And Greg popped a help article in there as well. Awesome. So thank you, Greg, for showing and telling this, and more importantly for making this, because this is super, super helpful. You guys let Greg know how awesome you think it is. We do have 2 folks signed up for live work reviews today, and you're both here. So I'm so excited to work with you. Let's go ahead and bring out Susan. Let me find you here. And let's go take a look at your site and talk through your questions. And then I also have Diana here that we'll bring out after Susan. So thank you for coming out. Hi, how can we help?
Hi, how are you?
Great, thanks.
So I don't know if you want me to describe my dilemma first.
Oh, sure. Yeah, go for it.
So I had this dilemma of reworking my website to better describe fully what I do when I meet with 2 separate people. So I've determined that basically I watched your other training, by the way, of how to run multiple businesses with your one AttractWell. And at minute 25, you had an incredible diagram on how to, like, you helped that lady build her 3 separate things. But for me, the gap in information was logistically how to do the pages, how to connect the pages in. So that's kind of my question. So I know I need to change this page. And if you want to jump to my pages in the back end, the page that I want to be at the front is the one called Hallett Coaching Solutions. So that's the page that I want to be my new home page. And then I want it to funnel into 2 separate categories depending on whether they pick work or home. And then I want there to be 2 separate home pages, if that makes sense, or if I can even do that.
Well, so they're not going to be home pages per se, but they would be, I mean, you're just basically providing hallways for them to walk down. If you think about it, like your brand is, we'll use like a medical office building as an example. Your brand is the brand that's on the outside of that building. And once they go in the door, there's a directory. That's basically your homepage and the menu of your website, right? And so, and you're not going to have like, so where we're kind of going to break from this medical office building is really like, we want them, it's more of a fun house. We're going to give them a couple doors that they could walk into, but then once they get into those hallways, there's a bunch of other places they could go, right? We're kind of tunneling them once they go into one of those doors. We don't want to create too many doors because then we're like, you know, Walmart or Home Depot or something, and people don't generally come back unless they know what they need. And that's not really how coaching works. So basically, why don't you get me clear first? You've got your umbrella, that's your Susan Hallett Consulting. You
Correct.
obviously work with married couples. What else do you do? There's a business side?
Yes, DISC for business. So
Okay.
communication for business, communication for relationships, or communication for marriage. So those are my 2 buckets.
Okay.
And I wanted to be able to, like, for people who choose the work bucket, I want them to also be able to see that, oh, she works with relationships too. So I wanted the cultivated marriage to still be in the menu somehow. And then I want to also have the cultivated marriage domain linked to that homepage that is there currently, because I want to change the domain back to Hallett Coaching Solutions. Because when I go to networking meetings, it's not going to make sense if I hand somebody a card that says the cultivated marriage, but I'm looking to come in and teach this to their business.
100%.
So this is the solution I'm trying to resolve, or the problem I'm trying to resolve.
Beautiful. I love it. Okay, this makes perfect sense. And I love how you've done this. Work team, home team. That's fantastic. So,
Okay.
so then here, I'm actually going to go ahead and switch over since you mentioned it.
Okay.
Let's make a, all right. So there's our Hallett Coaching. I'm going to actually bring us over to another screen here, and we're going to go through Freeform together. Here we go. So under your coaching, you've got the marriage one, you've got the DISC one. Okay. And so this is a page, we're going to talk about all the benefits and whatever about communication and relationships, and then you're going to provide them 2 paths off of that page.
Yes.
And let's be real, we're probably going to also have an about, right? You know, something like that. You know, your blog is going to be like, so think about like your menu. So you can have some basic stuff there.
Correct. Yes,
So,
I will have a blog and contact me.
Got you. Yeah. So then we'll also have, this is going to link forward from
The cultivated marriage.
right. Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
yes.
Awesome. So this is your domain. It's all your domain, but you're going to be able to put, you know, cultivated marriage on a business card, and it's going to send them straight to this cultivated marriage page on the Hallett Coaching website. Okay, great. So what's the dilemma?
So I guess trying to figure out, if people go to the cultivated marriage part of it from the original, then the link is going to say hallettcoachingsolutions.com/page/cultivated marriage, correct?
That's right. You would be setting up a forward in your domain manager so that cultivatedmarriage.com is going to point to this hallettcoaching.com/cultivatedmarriage. Yeah.
Okay. And then in the menu, I guess there's no way for, am I going to need to put the cultivated marriage in the menu as well as the Hallett Coaching Solutions in the menu so that somebody can get to the link of either one? Because I guess like in my head, I kind of imagined like Old Navy. Old Navy has Old Navy. They have what, banana or random other things. And so when you click Banana Republic, say from Old Navy, the menu changes.
Got you. Right,
But
right.
I'm assuming that's not what we're doing because we're still working with one website, whereas they have multiple websites.
That's right. That's right. So we're going just one level down where you have departments. And so you have so this would be like men's section, women's section. In this case, this is business section, relationship section.
Okay.
Yeah. And so essentially, you know, you would have in your menu for businesses, for partners, right? Or for relationships, for businesses, for relationships. And you could even have, you can make sure maybe in your blog that in your blog categories that you have tags for business or tags for relationship, right? Or marriage or something like that. If you're focusing on marriage specifically, right? So for couples, for businesses, and then you could send them to these respective pages.
Okay, so then my menu is going to have to be services, because I have services for each one. So
okay,
I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out is how do I am I going to have to relabel services to services for the cultivated marriage? Am I going to have 2 services tabs up there, or?
Yeah. So what I would do is just have it say work with me and go and create a work with me page. And here, let's go back to this guy.
Okay, got you.
Right. So another one that would be at this level would be a work with me.
Okay.
And then underneath that, there would be the marriage, and then there would be
services.
the business, right?
And that's what the services would be listed.
That's right. That's right. Mhm.
Okay.
Right. And you could even, again, at this level, you could have a free resources. And again, have those.
Yeah, I really don't want too many things across the top, because I feel like that's where you lose people. I want as few as possible.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, I mean, in this particular case, what you would be doing is you would have on your menu, you would have, this is your logo over here on the left-hand side. You would have about, you would have work with me. And then you could optionally have a one that says for businesses, and then one that is for couples. Right. And
in addition to the work with me, or instead of the work with me?
It's up to you, because what you could do if you do a for business and for couples, I mean, you do have some options there. You can do a drop down menu, and you could have a work with me that goes to, you know, one of these 2 pages, right?
Gotcha.
So it could be a drop down menu, but the one that just shows up across the top, you do want to make sure that on the page itself that they're on, especially like the home page, just like you have on the page that you've been working on, you have for, you know, for home team, for work team. I love that, home team, work team. So so yeah, so long as you've got home team, work team, I think that where people are on, if you're designing the pages intentionally for home team or work team, I don't know that the menu needs to necessarily have this in it, right? If you had a work with me that had a drop down where they could pick one of these 2.
Okay.
Right? Because whatever page they're on, you know, you're going to have designed that page for them, right?
Right.
Yeah. So and services could be, that's the same as work with me, but just make this a drop down, right?
Okay.
Where you have this, but I would just break it into for businesses, for couples, right?
And then
they go to the
subcategories. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, then you go to the page where they can see workshops, retreats, et cetera, because you probably aren't doing disc retreats, are you? Do people do disc retreats?
I mean, I actually am creating a disc retreat for couples. Yes.
Oh,
to teach
for couples.
Like from front to back. Yes.
Got you. Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, there are some of the things that you offer that aren't going to be perfectly parallel, right? So that's why you would have under services for business, and then for couples, and then those just go off to pages. And from there, they can learn about the different things, because you're going to work with a business obviously quite differently than you would work with couples.
So when you hit services and you see that drop down, if you were to drop your cursor down to pre-married, is there a way for other subcategories to show up off of that, or no?
Not at this time. And and those are kind of clunky anyway as menus, right? Like I would recommend taking them to a page that's for that audience. and then you branch off from there and just send them to their respective pages that sell them on the different offers.
Okay. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah,
Thank
anything else?
you.
Is that it?
I don't think so, but if as I'm building this, what is the best way to ask deeper questions when I'm in it?
Yeah, you could always come back here, or you could post in our Facebook group. This is going to be the best opportunity, so you feel free to use this as often as you like. But yeah, if you wanted to use our Facebook group or reach out to our team, you could do that too.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Nice chatting with you.
Thank you.
Okay, I also have Diana here today. Hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you guys so much for having me.
Of course, of course. How can we help you?
All right, so I am working on my website and it's very much in draft form right now. And I have a couple of technical questions, but I also would just love to get your input. I've tried to incorporate, a lot of the things that I've watched, but I still feel like it's a little bit messy. Like I'm not sure that it's really clean and organized as much as I like it to be. So I would just love to get your guys' input on just what you think could be improved just right off the bat.
Yeah, for sure. I love the logo, and this is a really nice sort of the backgrounds that you're utilizing I think are really nice. The GIF that you have here, while awesome, is not showing up in like correctly. So what I would recommend here is there's a couple of different ways that we can play around with this. Let's take a quick look at that. Was that part of the technical question for today?
It is. So there are a couple things, for example, the movement, when I take it out of Canva, I ended up having to save it to my computer and then, upload it here. And it just is kind of repeating what the intention was for it just to move once. So I don't know enough technically how to make that happen, but I'm thinking that I need to do the background as a background rather than importing the entire thing in. But yeah, that was one of my questions.
Okay. Yeah, so I would recommend that you take this background image that's here, this lovely one with the stones and the candles and stuff, and make that the image background, and then perhaps have the logo with the words and everything here be a transparent background image that you place in the center of a section like this. That'll allow, because you would be putting it there as an image, and it is uploading as a GIF. And that's why it's animating here. So if you wanted to change that format and just have it be like a PNG, for instance, then it wouldn't animate. But if you are going to have a GIF here, it's going to continually loop and animate. And I think if you were to have a video, I think that's set to loop as well, right? If you had like a video section background, Greg, like that loops, right? Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, but for the formatting's sake, so that it doesn't cut off like this at the very least, I would separate the background from what you're putting in the center of it, make the background image of the section. Then you do that by clicking the pencil here, and then make the stuff that you've got in the middle of it the image that you import and pop in the center. Or you take your logo here, and then you could actually use this as text on the page, because the text right here that you have, I think, is actually important for your business's SEO. And this is going to be sort of in a header font, and that's going to be, I think, an impactful thing to make sure you're including. So you might consider using that as well.
That's a really good point. So for SEO, it's better to use the text rather than importing words as images. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so in this next section, again, I love the background image, but we do want to take note of how far out the text goes in the section here. And so, and actually, it is going to the edges here. It's not bad actually, but it is good to have just a little bit of padding. So if we click on this section here, actually, we need to go into our element styles and
What about the padding in the section? Like if we click the pencil?
Yeah, maybe that's it. I think, yeah. So the padding, okay. So if we give it just there we go. Greg, you're so smart. Okay, So we'll just give it a little bit of padding on either side. And that just gives just a bit more there. And I think, let's see if there's any kind of, what is this? Why is it doing?
So I don't know how to get rid of these yellow sides. I got rid of the shading numerous times, but this keeps coming back. So I'm not sure. That's another one of my technical questions.
I have literally never seen a section do this before, Greg.
Oh, great. Okay.
I think that's the carousel. It looks like that carousel code may be causing that. Down below, there's like 2 or 3 sections down. I saw a carousel, so that's probably related to that.
Is this a carousel?
No, it used to be. It's this one here. Yeah.
This is a carousel. Okay.
Yep.
This section, where did it go? Why am I not seeing it?
This one right there, because the image changed. Go up just a little bit. Right there.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Go down.
Got
Yeah.
it.
This one.
Okay, yeah, you can actually see the carousel images here. So that might be the carousel doing that. Okay, well, it doesn't impact the whole of the page, but it can make for tricky editing, it looks like, if you want to edit an entire section. Okay, but let's continue. All right, so obviously we've talked about what we do to address this. We'd definitely increase a little bit of padding on the sides here, just to
Okay.
not let it go quite all the way out to the sides. And I do like the images in the carousel here. These are really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Discovery call. This is great. And we're going to go to a services page.
So
Excellent.
I'm doing 2 separate services. One is coaching, one is consulting, and there's going to be some overlap. Ideally, I would work with both, where people would get coaching, but also some consulting in terms of health.
Sure.
And I would love to get your input on how that's coming across, like if that's clear, if it's too much or too little.
I think it's great. I find this to be pretty clear. And you even have the button up here at the top, these two, which is great, where you're clearly delineating which is which, right? So you've got your coaching services, there they are. This is what it is. Here's what we support you and book a call. And then learn more about consulting services. And I mean, in all cases, the majority of the time, you're probably going to be having a call with somebody before they make a commitment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in all cases, you're pointing toward the point of conversion. So I believe that's the right move. And then of course, they will have already gotten an idea of what might be included, so they can get their questions answered. So yeah, no, this is really good. I think that the design in these sections look really nice. It's really good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see what else on the home page. I think, okay, so this is another instance where I think it would be more advantageous, instead of doing just a whole section background photo, which is what appears to be the case here, is that you go and you use, let me see, is there a header in this section? Yeah, there is. So if we were to go and add a 3-column with header, all we would have to do, and here, let me just go down here and see if I can grab everything at once. Sometimes that's a little tricky. That's okay. So I'm just going to do the one. Oh, it helps to be in the content editor, Ashley. Come on. Okay. Okay. So I would just delete the text here and do that in each of these. So basically just repeat your steps. So we'll delete up. I think that's all. Might need to do one more. Yeah. Delete. So we do this for all 3, and then we'll delete the button on the bottom of each. And then you would just swap out those individual testimonial images for each of these. And so that's going to make this more mobile responsive as well. And it'll make sure that it's actually centered well on the page. So if you want to remove a button, you just unlink, and then you can just
Okay. I didn't know actually
delete.
how to remove them. So perfect. So
Yeah.
That was another question because I tested it on mobile and all of those that are all the way across with an image are not coming out properly. So that answers the question. So basically I do have to separate the image from the text and do it in these panels. Okay.
Yeah, it does seem easier at the outset to use Canva for something like that, and just have it do everything, but then you start to run into issues with mobile responsiveness and just general display on different devices. All right, so in this case, this is client testimonials. Excellent. Hit done, and oh, hello, they have a bigger one. Let's make it the big one. Okay. And we'll just backspace this guy. Yeah, so I would just go in and swap out these images down here. And then again, this same background without the words, because we've got them right here. Just have this background be the image that you apply by clicking the pencil here. And then these would each be their own individual image that you would upload to this.
Got it. Yep, that's super helpful.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep this here and save it, but it is hidden, so it's not going to show up on your site for now.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Question. Okay, so what else?
So yeah, just overall, if it looks, I kind of added designs, but I didn't want it to be too busy. I'm definitely going for like a very clean sort of Zen look, but with a little bit of flair. And I'm curious, so the contact us, this is part of like some of my technical challenges. I didn't know how to get rid of that big space right there and how to sort of make the image match more the size of the contact us section.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go look. Just so you know, you do have the ability on any page to put hashtag contact in a link and it will pop up a contact box. You don't have to have a section like that on the bottom. But if you are wanting to maybe obtain additional information from a lead, then that would be a nice way to use it. So what page? That was an about page. Okay, so down here at the bottom, all right, we have form. So what I would actually do here is instead of putting contact us there, I would just put the form. And then that way we can make sure that we put, here we go, contact us. And then this would be get in touch, perhaps. And then we'll say, oh, do you see all of the space that's here? Do you see that's why it was creating that additional space. Did you want to put something here in the long text? You know, tell us more or something like that?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. And do you have a default campaign set up?
I haven't gotten there yet. No.
Got you. All right. So I'm going to put no campaign there for now.
Okay.
And we'll hit done and save. And this should resolve that problem down there at the bottom. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Great.
And I do think that the colors that you've chosen, the backgrounds and how you're using them, I think you're getting the point across. I think you're doing a really nice job here with sort of the vibe. But I would again just definitely make sure that you in these top sections make that separation of the text from the image so that it'll work better for you, you know, on smaller devices. Because you see how it's just not shrinking.
Yeah, I just noticed that yesterday. I was like, oh no, it's not working.
Thankfully it's a fairly easy fix.
Yes. Okay, perfect. And so another quick question. So when I'm opening this up for editing, when you leave it, this kind of pops up. Okay, so a question about this. Since right now I'm just on the limited plan and I just have the 4 pages, if I was going to do a PDF, I could just email it to them, right? There's no way to sort of save a PDF within the system for them to automatically get it.
I don't recall. If you have under videos, images, and files, I'm pretty sure you can have files. So yeah, you would take your PDF and you would drop it here, or in your campaign that you create to send them the, here, we'll just go ahead and pretend like we're creating the one, the five steps to better sleep, to master your sleep. Okay. So that's going to also be the name that they see when they manage their subscriptions to you. We'll prefer email and we'll create it. So yeah, what you would do is you would write your message, and this is going to be day 0, the first one. So here's your guide, and we'll say their name. And then you would say, here's your guide. And then what you would do is right here, well, first you would actually want to come over here and upload a file. And then you would go to the place on your device where your PDF is. You would add it there. It will provide you with a link. And then you can make this, you can insert a link here, make this the link to your file, right? And so you can actually send that to them via email. You don't have to add it to a page.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Okay, and then I don't know if we have time, but I had a couple other questions as well.
Sure.
One question is about the accordion. So I'm not super techie, but I was following the codes. I was able to create the accordion sections for the FAQ, but what I noticed is, I'm guessing because I copied and pasted the first accordion section for the following months, one thing is that it's all coming up in sections of 3, which actually I'm okay with, but I don't know how to change that. So if I needed to make a section of 1 or 5, I'm not sure how to edit the code. And then what I found is that, actually, if you want to go to the FAQ page, you'll see what I'm talking about. So it works fine on the AttractWell backend, but if you go to the actual website, when you open the FAQs past the first 3 sections, it keeps going back respectively to the first one. So if you go to, for example, if you scroll down a little bit more, if you go to what is the difference between health coaching and consulting, it actually goes back up to the first one, what is health coaching? And they all do that. So there's something in the coding where it's going back to those first 3, no matter, I don't know if I'm making sense, but so every first one out of those sections underneath will go to what is coaching. Every second will go to the about how health coaching works, and every third one will go to that third.
So
Are you looking to have them combined into one? Like, are all these are they supposed to be in groups of 3, or are you wanting them all in one big one?
Yeah, they ended up in groups of 3 because the code came with 3 and I didn't know how to change it, and I didn't want to mess it up. So I just copied and pasted, the sections underneath each other.
Okay. Yeah, I guess what I can look at, this will probably take more than the time that we have here to take a glance at, but I would be happy to take a look at this page after the call and send you an email.
Okay, that'll be great.
Awesome.
Okay, and then one more question. So how is it possible for me to link to that jump to a particular section from one page to another page? So I was able to look at your directions how to do it within the same page, but can I do it to another page?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So whatever you have named that section, just like you would have in the link where you're jumping to it, it would be hashtag name of that section. You would put the URL, hashtag name of section, and that will go to the URL and jump down to that section.
Okay, great. So it works just the same way within the same page and between pages. That's
right. Yeah, you just make sure that you're linking, like if you have page 1 and the link on page 1, you want to go to a section on page 2, make sure that section is named in the section settings. And then you're going to have in your link on page 1, page 2 URL, no spaces, hashtag, and then the name of that section.
Okay, so I do need to say the page and then the name of the section.
Right. So if we were going to go to from the home page to your services page and down to, you know, the health coaching section, then you would grab the URL for the services page. And actually here, let's just, do you know offhand, like
Yeah, so what I was trying to do is under FAQs,
Uh-huh.
I have to think of which one it was. Maybe can I mix coaching and consulting? I had created links to the services page from that one, but again, yeah, because of the issue with the accordion, we'd have to go through the AttractWell backend.
Well, and the important thing too to note, oh, these are separate sections. So if
Yeah.
this is named, okay, what's the difference, right? So if this is difference, so we're just going to name this difference, all right, that
Okay.
section, and we're going to hit done and save. Now the URL to this page, if we go back, that's this. And then I'm going to paste difference to the end of it. So if I just go to that link, it's going to pop us down to right here.
Got it. Okay, that was super helpful. I needed to kind of see that visually.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you just want to put the section code right there.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure thing. All right, let's see, I know we just have a couple minutes left, but Flora Brown, if you're still here, I would love to bring you out. We can chat about this real quick as well. Are you still good to chat? Maybe pop your hand up. Dr. Brown, let me know and we'll bring you out. Hi.
Whoops. Hi.
Awesome. How can we help?
Well, I just recently resubscribed to one of your, I guess, competitors that starts with a K. So I'm not I'm not willing to, completely switch because I just, renewed for a year. But I am looking for a way. Mainly, I think I'm unhappy with the CRM tool I had, which was not part of K. And my biggest problem is taking people who are interested in what I offer. They meet me either on one of the social media sites or on I have a quiz, or they meet me, maybe I've spoken in some webinar or whatever, and they want to learn more about me. My biggest problem is capturing those names and having a smooth way to get them onto my list. Usually it's with a lead magnet or something like that, and then be able to nurture that relationship. And the last CRM tool that I was using held a lot of promise, but had a lot of glitches, or at least for me. I'm very smart in a lot of areas, but technology is not one of them. I get it eventually but I'm not one of those that, buys something brand new and reads a manual from A to Z and figures the whole thing out on my own. I'm not that person. So I don't know how I discovered AttractWell, but I wondered if there was a way I could use it to help me with the customer retention. I love the sample funnel I think that was the first thing I saw about the importance of getting people onto your mailing list, which I know that's extremely important. So I do have a mailing list. It's not as big as it used to be. I've been online since the beginning of the century, so things have changed a lot over the years. And right now I have probably about 1,300 people on my mailing list. And I'm wondering if I would be able to use AttractWell to help with that portion of people. Obviously all the 1,300 are not active clients,
Right.
but still on the list. They haven't unsubscribed themselves. And I want to begin to do a better job of nurturing these people once they have indicated interest, and have a working campaign or follow-up email. And it's just it feels like a lot of balls to, juggle. And I know the importance of it, and I've done it on some level, but not as smooth as I want to. And seems like everything I want to do is another learning curve, and things change. I mean, every time I go to TikTok or Instagram, they move the buttons around or something. And, it's this constant change. So I'm frustrated with that because I know the importance of what you shared about the getting people to your email list is critical, because they're not yours if they're over on Facebook or somewhere else.
Right, right. Well, to
Yeah.
answer your question, what you're describing is really at the beating heart of what AttractWell is and does. We are built
Okay.
around our contact manager, and everything that we have connects to it. So a lot of folks who find us will maybe already have their established offerings on another platform, as you do.
Yeah.
And that could mean that it's courses or programs. It could also mean that they're using Shopify and they have a store that's established and set up. You
Okay.
can use both. And I mean, we obviously recommend that you have a long-term plan to move everything over to us, just because
Sure.
it's going to make your life easier. But that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you can't do both at the same time. And so essentially what you would be doing is, and we do have Zapier integrations, by the way. So I mean, if you needed to have things, talk between each other, then there is a possibility that that could be made to work on automation as well. But the important piece, which is your website, you're collecting leads off of your website and moving them onto a list for nurture, and not just nurture, but for your individual follow-up where it matters.
Yes. Yes.
Then we have those all in one, right? So what you have with AttractWell is, you've got your ability to collect contacts from landing pages, right? Or import them from an existing list. So you already have one, you could
Yes.
import those. You can segment them just like you would in any other list mailer. But this is where we start to diverge a bit from other industry tools. And you usually get an either or situation unless you're paying $1,000 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you have your CRM, which is more of a traditional, like, I need to know who this person is, where did I meet them, I need to personally follow up with them at this date and time, here are my files, here's where I'm tracking stuff. And then the ability to have a listserv, like a list mailer, where you can actually collect leads and have a broadcast that goes out on a regular basis, or drip campaigns, et cetera. So we do both of those things at the same time. And we actually have the ability for you to plug in automations on the back end, so that a follow-up plan. So maybe there is a series of steps that you will always follow if somebody opts in for this particular thing. So if they want to, like, they checked a box that said, I want to write my book in the next 6 months, then you know that you want to actually personally follow up with that person, because you've got something that you could offer them. And so you could, in that sort of what's the word I'm looking for here, in that conditional way, if they did this, then this happens. You have those abilities to set things up with AttractWell as well, and they work perfectly. So if you wanted to just have a thing that you could use, and your thing for sale is still sitting over here with this thing you've paid for a year, which is fine.
Yeah.
And you could just, from everything you're doing in AttractWell, when they're ready, toss them the link to go over there and buy the thing off the shelf, right?
Yeah.
So
But do you have something, because there's so many tools out there that promise to do this and that, but no one tool does everything. And I like the tools that when I'm on, let's say I'm on Instagram, I've done a reel or whatever, and I ask people to put a keyword, some word in the chat or comments, tool that then will grab that word, one of the bots, and begin to communicate with that person. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't have a social media chat bot.
Okay.
But if you had a social media chat bot and it collected information from them and it had a Zapier integration, then you could make it talk to AttractWell if you really wanted to.
Yeah, okay. Because one of the tools, I mean, there's a zillion of them, everybody has one. And a lot of people are talking about ManyChat, and they are saying that it's free, but then the cost is you got to set it up properly, or have someone set it up properly. And I'm guessing that, like with any tool, if you can start a conversation, and the biggest thing is going to be to get that person to want something I have free and then give me their email. So
yeah. And you don't really need a chat bot for that.
Yeah. Well, how do I do that automatically? Because sometimes I always try to respond to people who comment, regardless of whether they're just, doing one of the likes or whatever.
Sure.
But doing it
Yeah,
manually is a pain.
well, so what you would do is, you would just change your call to action. So instead of telling them to comment below, you could say, obviously tell them to comment below because that's going to increase your edge rank. It's more engagement. That's good. But make sure that you also have a clear call to action that says, get my free guide to writing your first book, click the link in bio. And then you can make your link in bio page with AttractWell. And then on that page, they click and they go and they open up the landing page where they can get that download and they put in their name and email and then they receive a sequence.
I have that set up, the link in bio thing. It's just that the trend is going toward the companies not wanting you to say link in bio. And at least that's what I'm hearing. I'm not the expert.
Interesting. Yeah,
but
well, I don't know. It's always going to change.
Well, you have to find a way to say it that, if you ask them for a single word, for example, to post in the comment, they're more likely to do that while they're there than to, at the end of the video, go up and click and then, choose what it is. And that's another problem.
Right.
So how much stuff do you have up there for them?
But the important thing is, though, is that the people who would take that extra step that are going to go click that link, that's who you want on your list. You don't want just anybody who can just throw a word into some comments on your list, because you have to pay to keep your list no matter where you have your list. What you pay on a monthly basis to manage that list is commensurate with the size of it. So if you just got a bunch of people that were just showing up and were like, I can say a word, but if they can't go click a link in your bio, they don't need to be on your list.
And I understand that, and I agree with you. From the standpoint of being a consumer, I will go and investigate and click when I'm interested. And in a way, you're right that those are the people that are most interested. The other people are a lot of them are just going to want to get the free whatever it is. But that's kind of the nature of being online and working with social media. It's just not going to always be perfect. But I'm at the point where I don't want to buy another anything that, unless I'm sure that I'm going to be able to use it and that it's going to be, I understand how you were saying I can coordinate with my current website because, I know how to make landing pages and I can send them there. And so I know how to do that part, but I just wasn't clear on what all AttractWell offers. The previous lady you were working with, it seems that her entire website is on AttractWell, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you are right now and are paid up for a year, we do everything they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can sell with us. You can even have an e-commerce store that we actually do even more than they do. So it's everything and it's all in one place. You don't have to go get another tool. I mean, sometimes you do, right? You want a scheduler, you can bring that in, but there's a way to do that for free.
Most of the stuff I already have, and I'm able to connect it easily with a link, tell people to go there and it'll take them to that other place. So, okay, I need to take another look at, well, not take another look, take a deep look, because I've glanced at what AttractWell says, what you say, but I'm doing 50 things at one time these days. So I haven't dug deep enough to be sure how I can use it and eventually move over.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we have these calls every week. It's $1 for your first month if you want to get in and take it for a spin. And of course, we could work together on a call like this. We have a team that can build things for you if you wanted. So lots of different options there.
What's the cost of having a team hand-holding team?
Yeah, that's going to depend on the project. I mean, it could be anything from a very small to a very, very large project. So it really depends. But if you go to attractwell.com/concierge, there's a form you could fill out there. If you told them kind of everything that you have in mind, then they can hop on a call and get you quoted and get that worked out. But the Success Academy that we were talking about today that Greg built, that would be a really great place to start. Actually, if you were to get your trial, then you could go in and say, okay, I want to do this. And even though, you're kind of testing things out, you would get an idea of, okay, here are the steps. Here's how all this ties together.
Is that what he was referring to over on YouTube? All of the videos over there are from Success Academy?
So the Success Academy is actually a new feature in AttractWell.
Oh, okay.
And this is when you're logged into AttractWell, it's just right here.
Okay.
And this is where you can learn how to set your account up, any common projects you might want to work on, online resources. And then this is just a really easy way to search our YouTube library.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very clean looking. All right. Looks like I need to go over there and put on my blinders, block out everything else I'm doing, and get the trial and give it a little spin and see if I can, use it for what I want to do right now.
Okay. Well, we look forward to having you, and thanks for being with us here today. It was great to meet you, Flora.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
take care.
Bye.
Thank you all for being here, for sticking around. Thank you, Greg, for making the Success Academy. It's going to be so much easier to find resources when you need them, training, exactly what you're looking for when you need it. You guys let us know if there's something that you really need that you're not seeing. We can create a training. Sometimes we'll create a whole new feature. So just be in touch with us. Check us out in our Facebook group. And of course, support at AttractWell.com if you need help. We'll be back here same time next week. Take care, everybody.